After losing a part of myself on this grind, it finally happened. Never mind, 9,999. Heartbreak, absolute heartbreak. But it finally happened the next game after playing 2 cheaters in a row and getting them banned. GG's. Now obviously getting Iri did have its challenges, many of which...
This dipshit probably ban Rewind again.
Fuck's sake.
I'm about the autistic cunt in the back.
It's all well and good me showing you that I've got Iri and everything else, but how do you actually get it? And that's what I'm trying to answer you today. So if you can't win games, don't worry, I'm here to help. But Billy, I hear you say, how do I win more games? The answer is you don't. Yeah, rank play can feel like an uphill battle, but together we're going to change that right here today. I've climbed the ranks all the way to Iri, and now it's our turn to get you there. In this video we'll break down the exact strategies, tips and mindset that took me to the top. Ready? Let's go. First things first, I'm going to break this down for us, okay? So what you need is these key strategies. You need aim. You need positioning. And most important is mindset. In today's video, we're going to be focusing on this. Aim. Now, what is aim? Well, the truth is, aim can be broken down into 3 simple things. First one is tracking, which allows you to follow people as they walk around, dash around like they think they want to be shotsy, but they're not. The second one is crosshair placement. Okay, that looks wrong. Let's go cross P, just so we don't have any miscommunication. So that's crosshair placement, tracking, and then we have the last one, which is flicking. Now, all these, if you are good at them, can create a really good player, but the main one is crosshair placement. That's the only one you necessarily need to worry about in Call of Duty if you are a controller player, because the reality is these two are pretty much done for you, alright? You don't need to worry about these. What we're going to be focusing on is crosshair placement. Let's get into the game. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to hop in a bot lobby and do some of these training exercises. That should help you improve your aim. First of all, we're going to go through the settings. So you want a relatively small map, so I either do Skyline or Vault. I normally do some Vault as well, so let's go turn it on free for all. The game rules, we want that 45 minutes, which used to be, well, it is the max now. And the points, you want that about 600. Match start time 5 seconds, and I don't think anymore they don't have like full mag sizes, so you can't have maximum ammo for some odd reason. Then you just add however many bots you want. You want quite a lot, so I'm going to go with 10. And we'll start the match. So these exercises are supposed to basically improve all these aspects of your aim. So your crosshair placement, your tracking, and your flicking. So first of all, we're going to focus on just keeping our crosshair on the enemy and following it as it moves around. And then once it's fully on the enemy, you can shoot. Not like I just did there. You want to make sure you're on it. Don't worry if you die. You know, it's not a ranked game, doesn't really matter. Look, crosshair on, just make sure you don't miss any shot. Make sure you're following the enemy with your crosshair. Again guys, you don't have to shoot if you want to improve on your tracking. You just look at it and follow him. Follow the guys, just like so. Maybe practice switching targets as well. Look at him and shoot. Look at him and shoot and follow. So it's just about getting that down. It's about getting down the aspect of looking, stopping and shooting. And you can do this while sliding as well, just to make sure you have all of it down. And make sure you're following him with your crosshair. And naturally, over time, once you repeat this quite a lot, you should find that you are following the targets a lot better when you're in a gunfight. So it stops you straying from the enemy themselves. Get on a head glitch. There's a bot on a head glitch. Crazy. So you just want to do this for quite some time. As you can see, as I'm moving around the map, I'm looking at my mini-map, waiting for people to shoot, and I'm just centering. So, as you can see, I'm centering towards this side as I come down here. Boom, one there, kill him, lock on. So now, I see the red dot, so naturally I'm going to slide out at body level and try and shell him. Of course I died there, but you get the gist of it. So if I'm chelling P4, for example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoulder this bit, make sure no one's standing there, and then I'm going to quick peek that, and then slide through there, because they're most likely going to be there if they're not here and they're not here. So it's just about that crosshair placement. Even if you're sliding past, you want to aim there, most common angle, right? It's just how things go, so... Just make sure to be conscious of when you're shooting, you're always on them. And you're not shooting when you're off of the enemy target. Just like so. So, about crosshair placement, all you have to do is aim at head height or body height, as, you know, the headshot multiplier doesn't really matter in this game. Make sure you're aiming body height at different angles. So obviously, see him on the minimap there. And just make sure you're walking around. When you're walking around, you've got your crosshair at those angles. So you're walking, you know, slide, crosshair's in the middle. Slide, crosshair's going to be there. You want to just keep the crosshair at different angles. So you can just run around the map, looking at bots, switch in between them on your crosshair. You don't have to ADS. Just switching. Just like so. And that should improve your crosshair placement. And whenever you're chelling hills, make sure to just already keep in mind where you want your crosshair to be. So when you aim, like if I want to look there, boom. You know? Simple as that. I could elaborate a bit more, but I think my audience is smart enough to understand what this is. And you've probably heard about tons of things like to do with crosshair placement in the past. You probably understand quite a lot about it. It's just the fact of putting that in practice. It's not so easy to just instantly get a grasp of, but I promise you, go into a bot lobby and practice it, it will start looking a lot better for you. Keep making a habit of looking at your minimap. He's right there. So you want to slide challenge him? Oh, he must have been at the other side. There we go. He shoots again, and there he is. Make sure you're practicing with a bunch of different guns as well, as some things vary depending if you've got like different ADS sense and whatnot. But it's pretty simple. Again, tracking is quite important, but it's not as important as crosshair placement. If you've got perfect crosshair placement and centering, they're not winning their gunfights, are they? On to the next thing, and that's going to be flicking. You want to practice just flicking onto the enemy. You start off a bit of distance away, and then flick onto them. So a combination between flicking and tracking does really help switching targets. So once you've killed one guy, you instantly flick, and so you flick onto them. I haven't practiced much. I haven't practiced the flicking much because I feel like it just comes naturally to response time. But once you practice flicking, see, I missed quite a few shots there. Maybe I do need to brush up on it. We're just flicking from one enemy to the next, so. My aim is a bit rusty. I've just come on to do this video, by the way, so it might not be great. But yeah, I'm just going to go over the first example again. So you want to keep your crosshair on them and then shoot. Just so you know you're maintaining accuracy when you're shooting. So you don't want to be inaccurate when you're shooting. And over time, you can pick up the pace and start shooting a little bit faster when your crosshair is on the enemy. So, example, crosshair is on the enemy, crosshair is on the enemy. You just want to confirm that to yourself when the crosshair is on the enemy. Because you don't want to be missing shots, you don't want to be flailing around. soon as you see someone, you start panicking. Now, you want to remain calm when you're aiming. It's very important in like strategy games like Valorant, etc., called calm aim. And our controllers don't need to do that too much. Because, again, it is a controller game. You've got aim assist, all that good stuff. But you just want to make sure that you brush up on your aiming and make sure you're playing well. And then for the tracking, you can just run around. You run around and just track the enemy, if that makes sense. You just run around, slide around, and just make sure you're keeping your crosshair on the enemy. Doesn't matter if you die. Again, this is just a training exercise. You're not going to lose any SR for this. Let me just find someone real quick and just demonstrate. Yep, you're just aiming at them, jumping around, and you should maintain aim. You can practice switching as well. So you look at them. Look at them, just track them, make sure your crosshairs, trying to stay on them as much as possible. And this should eventually help you improve your aim in all aspects, not just one. It's all good to shooting bots, but if you're not actively practicing certain aspects of your aim, you're going to improve slightly slower than anybody that just goes around and shoots them, if you know what I mean. Obviously, you input movement into that as well. You know, you can dive, you can slide. For example, there you go, crosshairs on the enemy. Slide in, maybe you want to slide dive, a little lay down. It's just a simple exercise, really. A few different exercises for you guys to try out, and hopefully let me know in the comments how this helps you, and if it did, or not at all, and I'm just absolutely terrible at the video game. But it should give you an inkling on how to improve. You can try this with an AR as well. Don't discriminate between guns. So the key point, really, of all of this is just to improve your accuracy within the game. Yeah, it's all about crosshair placement. Wherever you're thinking they're going to be, all the common spots. So you want to look that way, slide in, and instantly look that way. Obviously, if you're double challing it with somebody, it would be much easier. But let's say you heard some shots there, you want to instantly crosshair placement to there. You want to slide in, center to there. Just maybe shoulder it quite a bit. Just make sure your crosshair is always at that body height. Body or head height, up to you. Body is better because you have more chance of hitting more shots. And anyway, the recoil will kick up a little bit. But just make sure you're always running around at that height. See, as I'm looking this way, head height is a bit taller than it is here. So you just kind of want to transfer that in like a downward slope to that door. So as you're doing that, you can just do that quite simply as you get used to it. You just want to run around a few maps with or without bots. It's completely up to you for this exercise. You just want to run around and just practice being on head height. Kind of does help with bots though. See, there we go, we're on head height. And now you just look, you can transfer it up, down, even further down. Just like that. You just want to make sure you're on head height every time you're peeking an angle or challenging something. Completely up to you. Now these boxes are similar to head height. You just want to aim maybe a bit below if you want to recalibrate yourself a little bit. And that will do it for this portion of the video. Thank you for watching. So what exactly have we learnt so far? Well, as you remember before, aim has now been fully taken care of. We've crossed it out, we know what we need to do for the 3 exercises, for the 3 different things, which are crosshair placement, flicking, and tracking. So now obviously we've crossed off aim, and that's fully complete. What we need to do now is focus on positioning and mindset. And once all of these are combined, I trust that you will be a much better player than you are now, reaching your highest ranks you possibly could get, which I believe every single one of you watching this right now could get to iridescent and maybe even top 250 if you consider these 3 options. This video will be primarily focused on the aim, as you've just seen. These 2 things, positioning and mindset, will be covered in the next video, as well as a tips and tricks video to make sure you get all the inside knowledge that you need to dominate in your next games. Make sure to stay up to date to my upload status don't worry, hit those notification bell and you will receive a notification whenever I post my next video, which shouldn't be too long. So if you want another one of these, just let me know in the comments below, and let me know if it helps you as well, because if I'm not helping you, then why the fuck am I making this? Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.